Once, a certain king had three questions in his mind. He believed that if he could find the answers to these three questions, he would never fail in anything he undertook. His three questions were: what is the right time to begin any action? Who are the most important people to listen to, and whom should he avoid? What is the most important thing for him to do at all times? The king proclaimed throughout his kingdom that a great reward would be given to anyone who could answer these three questions. Scholars, wise men, and thinkers came from all over, but all their answers were different. Some said he needed to create a strict timetable, while others suggested he should listen only to his counselors. Unsatisfied with all the answers, the king decided to consult a wise hermit who lived deep in the forest. The hermit was known for his wisdom, but he only received common folk. Therefore, the king put on simple clothes, left his bodyguards behind, and went to meet the hermit alone. When the king arrived, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. He was old, frail, and breathing heavily. The king approached him and asked his three questions. The hermit listened carefully but remained silent and continued digging. Seeing how exhausted the hermit was, the king said, "You look tired. Let me take the spade and dig for you." The hermit handed him the spade and thanked him. After digging 2 beds, the king stopped and repeated his questions, but the hermit still gave no answer. As evening approached and the sun began to set, the king said, "If you cannot answer my questions, please tell me so I may return home." Just then, the hermit said, "Look, someone is running towards us." A man came running out of the woods, holding his hands against a bleeding wound in his stomach, and collapsed at the king's feet. Without hesitation, the king washed and bandaged the wound repeatedly until the bleeding finally stopped. Night had fallen, so the king carried the wounded man inside the hut, and they both fell asleep. When the king woke up the next morning, the wounded man looked at him and begged for forgiveness. Surprised, the king asked, "I do not know you. Why are you asking for my forgiveness?" The man replied, "You do not know me, but I know you. I was your enemy. You had executed my brother and seized his property, so I swore to kill you. I knew you went alone to see the hermit. But when you did not return by evening, I came out of my hiding place and was recognized and wounded by your bodyguards. If you had not bandaged my wounds, I would have bled to death. You saved my life. From now on, I and my sons will serve you faithfully." The king was delighted to make peace with his enemy so easily. He forgave him and promised to restore his property. Before leaving, the king went out to the hermit one last time and said, "Wise man, will you not give me the answers to my questions?" The hermit looked up and said, "You have already been answered." "How?" asked the king. The hermit explained, "Yesterday, if you had not pitied my weakness and stayed to dig these beds for me, you would have walked back alone and that man would have attacked you. Therefore, the most important time was when you were digging the ground. The most important person was me, because you stayed to help me. The most important action was to do good for me. Later, when the wounded man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him. The most important person was that wounded man. The most important action was saving his life. Always remember these lessons. There is only one time that is important now, the present. It is the only time when we have any power to act. The most important person is the one you are with at the moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future. The most important purpose is to do good for that person, because that is the very reason we were sent into this world.